Yo, if you care to learn more about Philippa Georgiou from Star Trek Discovery and her background story, then stay tuned here at the Downrock Records Arcade for my review of Star Trek Section 31 Emperor Born. As usual, shout out to Red Nails 2 here in Toronto, my favorite card and comic book shop. As you can see there, it's been around since 1989, and I've been shopping there since like 92. So, check them out if you're ever in the Toronto area. It's my heaven on earth. So here we go, Section 31. It's a Star Trek story. It's a series now on Paramount. If you have like one of those subscription thingies, a million of the subscriptions that are out there just now making cable look good again. Anyway, yeah, so I picked this up last week. It's a one shot, is mostly why I picked it up, and I'm a Star Trek fan. And, I liked the series despite all the controversy around it, the politics that people got into it. And, I was still a fan of the series regardless because I'm one of those people that's easily entertained. I grew up on television from sci-fi in the 70s and the 80s, and if you could watch that stuff, you could watch anything. So, and that's not a knock to the series. It was pretty well done on my end as far as I'm concerned. So I liked it, and I found Philippa Georgiou's character on the show to be pretty intriguing. Her background is addressed in this book, and I'm guessing some of it will be addressed in the series too. I haven't watched it yet. I'm saving that up because I'm kind of anticipating it a bit. I got a lot of million other things to watch though too, but I'm kind of really looking forward to seeing this. So this book here, like I said, I'm into it because it's a one shot, and it's an interesting premise. Uh, it was a good story. It was a short story. The art in it is, it's pretty well done. It's done well enough to tell the story. Let's just put it that way. Um, it's not detail oriented. It's not the greatest art, so you're not going to pick it up because the art was sensational. It's just passable enough to help tell the story. Um, the If you're into the Hunger Games, you'll kind of dig it. You know what I mean? And I say kind of because it's not as in depth, and it could have been expanded on a way more. But I think it's really just to help sell the show, so they didn't want to go into it too much, is what I'm guessing. But this story totally could have been expanded on a lot more. It would be great if they actually do that at some point down the line because, like I said, it just wasn't in depth enough to be entertaining on its own. It's definitely a companion piece to the show because it was a quick read for me, and it went from 0 to 100 real quick. So I don't know if they're gonna get enough sales from the book to justify it. I think it might help spread, might help them sell more comic books if they do alternative, one shots to the Section 31 series. If they do companion pieces to those in comic book form, I think it might help a bit if this was like a starting point. But the story itself just wasn't necessarily super entertaining. And like I said, if you're a Hunger Games fan, then you might be into it. I'm not the biggest Hunger Games fan. I saw a couple of the movies, I think, and I never read the books. Not that I think they're bad or anything, or not that, it's just not necessarily my jam. But it was, an interesting premise. Like I said, it's just not deep enough, and it happened real quick. So it was satisfactory, but it wasn't necessarily something I would recommend just because, it is very short, and it is very curt, and it doesn't go in depth enough. I like if you're gonna watch a series, I'll recommend it in that regard, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it if you're not gonna check out the series. If you weren't necessarily a fan of Star Trek 31, Star Trek Discovery, if you're just kind of like a casual reader of Star Trek stuff, or if you're even like in-depth reader of pardon me, Star Trek comic books, then I still wouldn't. I just don't. I think like the story could have been done in flashback sequences in the show or series or whatever, and I don't know if they did do that, and maybe this is, I haven't seen the series yet, but I think that it could have just been done that way, just like in flashback sequences for the show, because it just doesn't seem like it was enough to be a comic book. So I'm gonna have to like dump it. I can I won't I'm not gonna say don't pick it up. I'm gonna say if someone lends it to you or you get it like in the dollar bin somewhere, then yeah. But it's not, if it disintegrates in my comic book box, maybe it won't even make my comic book box, to tell you the truth, because it really is just a very, you know, it's really just passable. It's not a memorable. Uh, it's just no. So I'm dumping it. My review of Star Trek Section 31, Emperor Born. Uh, Final word. Yeah, I'm dumping it. Not hating it. I'm not saying don't read it. I'm just not, yeah, behind it 100%. Anyway, that was our review of Star Trek Section 31. I don't like to do spoilers, so like I said, I'm not going to get into super detail with these things. But if you want to know more about the book, then hit me up on my Blue Sky, and I can give you a little bit more detail about it. If you got any type of question about it, I'll hit me up on my Blue Sky, and I can get at you there. But yeah, you could go and be the surprise for yourself. Until the next, y'all take it easy. Peace and guidance.